I would love to hear the number one day of how many people actually start a lawn care business each year in the United States. Not counting other areas where lawn mowing is a thing in other countries. But it's quite a bit of people, and I think part of the problem is a lot of them start it without much of a plan. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 areas that you need to plan if you're looking to start a lawn business in 2025 or whenever you're watching this video. Because obviously going out there and starting to do things without much of a plan is not a great strategy for success. Today's video is sponsored by Yardbook. I've been using Yardbook for my lawn care software since 2015. If you need a software to run your lawn care business or you're looking to start a lawn care business, go to yardbook.com and sign up for a free account. All right, so I kind of broken this down in 3 areas for you. Let's think about what kind of plans you need to make. The first kind of plan, and there may be some sub-plans under the main plans, but let's just call the first plan a business plan. You think Jay said, of course you need a business plan. Isn't that kind of the broad word? Well, let me clarify what I mean by business plan, and we'll talk about some other things that are maybe underneath the business plan. But when I talk about a business plan for the lawn care business, yeah, if you want a formally written business plan, that's great. I personally don't have one of those, and I'm okay with that. Tell you what, I would have at least a plan in my mind of where I'm trying to go with my business. Let me explain. All right, so you see behind me here my truck. Got a Toro lawnmower here. You got the Z spray, and I think one of the things you want to think about is like, what are you going to offer as far as services go? I don't think it's a good strategy to just say, you know what, I'm just going to put my name out there and whatever comes my way, I'm going to take it. Maybe for the short term, if you just need money and you just got to do whatever. But for the long term, you need to make a decision. Now, I've run in my 3rd lawn care business. My first 2 lawn care businesses, I was mowing grass. My 3rd lawn care business, I'm doing weed control and fertilization. Now, I started the 3rd one, I was doing both. I said, you know what, I just need to make money. I moved to a new town and I needed to earn money for my family. And so I was mowing. I got maybe 20, 25 yards I was mowing, and I started getting the weed control business. And about the 3rd year in, I gave up the mowing and I just started doing weed control only. So that doesn't mean that you can't do both, but it's hard for an individual to go out there and for the customers to take you serious as a small solo operator, or when you're brand new, if you say that you're going to do everything. Like, I'll pressure wash, I'll clean your windows, I'll do weed control, fertilization, mow your grass. It's really, in my opinion, not a good strategy. Now, if you grow a huge business one day and you've got all these mowing clients, you say, well, we're taking care of 300 properties, got a lot of commercial properties, I got 5, 6 trucks on the road, and we want to add weed control and fertilization. Well, now that makes a lot more sense, but going out there and just saying day one we're just going to do whatever, probably not going to work. And the reason is the weed control game, which is what I do now, there is a learning curve to that, and there's also a sense in where you want to be the designated guy that's doing that, because you got to learn what you're doing, and you want the customers trust you that this is what you do and you know what you're doing. So it's not worth it, in my opinion, to go out there and just get 50 customers you're going to do weed control for and just kind of as a side hobby. It's too much to learn, too much of a pain to do the license, deal with the chemicals, just to go out there and do a little bit on the side. I'm not saying it can't be a great part-time job. I'm just saying it takes hundreds of customers to fill up your route unless you're just doing some gigantic commercial properties. If I could further expound on this idea of a business plan, I think another thing, and this is what I've tried to do, is like, are you going to grow big and get multiple employees and multiple trucks and do all that, or you want to stay small? Well, that's very, very important, because if you're going to stay small, then there's a strategy for that. You got to think, okay, I'm small, I got to really charge a healthy price, which you're going to do that anyway, because if you grow big, you got all this overhead, you got to charge a healthy price for that too. But I think you want to stay in a saturated area where you can know that you can grow that route. So to explain, I work by myself, so I have an extremely tight route that's very profitable. I'm not going to take some random customer that's 30 minutes away thinking that, oh, one day I could build a route over there and have another day, because I'm working by myself. I'm not really trying to grow that big. Now, if I knew that I wanted to grow a big business, then I get a call that's 30 minutes away and I think, you know what? this is the first customer of 150 I'm gonna get in that area. So I'm gonna take them on knowing that I'm gonna grow a whole route over there, a whole week's worth of route over there, whatever. And I gotta grow where I can get my second truck, third truck, fourth truck on the road. Now that's a whole different strategy. See, if I'm working by myself, staying small, I'm thinking, no, I don't want that customer. If I'm growing big one day, I gotta take that customer, even though it's inconvenient in the short term. That's the start of me building a profitable route over on that side of town. The other thing, as far as strategy goes, you gotta think big properties or small properties. You know, if I go out there and get me a 36-inch walk-behind mower and a church calls that's got 7 acres of grass, you know, I'm probably not gonna be qualified to do that. Same time, if I go out there and get a 72-inch monster zero turn and somebody calls and they got a gate that only a 21-inch push mower would fit through, well then that's not gonna be great either. So you wanna design your equipment based on what you're going after. Even the same with the weed control. You know, if I'm running that Z-Spray, man, I would love to have a big football field that's wide open and big rectangle. I can just go ride that thing around. I got little tiny yards, I may not need that. So build your equipment around the type of customers you're going after, because what I tell people, I really don't think it makes a lot of sense to get one piece of equipment for like 2 or 3 customers, unless they're really profitable customers. I do have a friend, he got an extremely profitable account that he had to get a specialized piece of equipment for that particular account. Now that might make sense, but just say I'm gonna go get a bagging mower because I got 3 customers want it bagged, doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind. So that's kind of the business plan in a nutshell. Obviously there's a lot more you could go into that, but a general idea, am I gonna grow big one day or am I gonna stay small? Am I focused on mowing or I'm focused on weed control? Am I focused on mowing or focused on weed control? You know, what's my strategy so that I can target my ideal customer and go after that? Yes, you may have to do some things the first year if you're in a financial situation just to make it, but ultimately you wanna have a plan and direction of where you're going. Before I get to the next category of things to think about, let me just say that I do think that getting things together in the fall, I don't know when you're watching this video, but it makes a lot of sense to me to get your plan together in the fall so that by the beginning of the year you can be ready to go. You know, I talking to people yesterday saying, if you want to start a weed control and fertilization business, like you need to get licensed now, you need to go ahead and get your equipment now, so that when January comes and somebody calls, you're ready to go. That's in the South. You know, if you're up north, maybe in February or March, you got to be ready. So, or April, depending on where you live. But the point being, you don't want to be out there scrambling around in March thinking, I got to go get me a spray tank. I'm starting a business in 10 seconds. You know, you want to get ready and be ready for the game to start. Because I'm a YouTuber, I do provide a lot of free information, but some people take advantage of the resource I have at lawncarelife.com. So there is the Weed Control and Fertilization Academy if you want to get a weed control like me. Also, there's information on the 2025 Lawn Care Life Conference if you're interested in that. All right, I'm sitting down, I need to take a break. All right, second thing I want to talk about as far as what you need to get in order is kind of a marketing plan. I was talking to somebody, again, I think yesterday or today, I can't remember, but we were talking about marketing, how to get customers, how to get started if you're just brand new. I said, well, you know, depends on if you got any money or not, but if you're starting out, you can, one thing that's simple is just let people know that you are starting, because you'll be surprised, maybe some people you know are willing to give you a shot to help you get going. It's like the snowball effect. Once you get some customers and it starts growing, then it snowballs and starts to build on itself. Other thing you can do, you can be active in like little Facebook groups. I used to get on Facebook in the local Facebook group for my community, and I would search for the keyword lawn, L-A-W-N, and I would see all these people commenting on there like, I'm looking for somebody to cut my grass, I need somebody to mow my lawn, I want somebody to kill the weeds in my lawn. And I would click on the comments section and I would find all these little companies that were being recommended for mowing, and I would call them and I'd say, hey, I realize you mow grass, I used to mow grass and now I do weed control and fertilization. Just curious, do you have anybody that you're currently sending your customers to for weed control? And they said, no, not really. Or they said, oh, I sent them to big company over down the road. And I said, well, you know what, I'd love to meet you. Maybe we could have lunch or whatever. I come by and see your lawn and spray your yard for free 1 time or 2 times or whatever. And I started to build relationships with these guys that would send me customers. And they say, if you're mowing, you can do the same with the weed control guys. You know, I get calls all the time for mowing, and I send them to people who are in the mowing business. So you can get to know people, and that's something that doesn't cost much money at all, if any. The other thing you can do, and by far the best way I've gotten customers for my business, is by having a website that ranks well on Google. Now, I understand that's not as easy said than done, and you got to be strategic about how to do it, and it can be some expense involved in that. I have a YouTube presence, and maybe that helps me or whatever, but I get a lot of calls off the internet. I do have an affiliate relationship with this company called Footbridge Media. I'll put the link in the description, but you can go to Footbridge Media. But you can Google Footbridge Media. When you click on their website, go all the way down to the very bottom, and there's a link that says Lawn Care Life. The regular price is $249 a month, and that they will build your website and do the SEO, search engine optimization, and help you rank well. With the link that I have, it's $199 a month. Now again, don't use them because I said so. I'm just giving you an option. You can go find your own web developer and pay them, and then pay somebody to do search engine optimization. But the Footbridge Media people have been great. It's not just somebody working in their basement. They have hundreds, if not thousands, of customers. They specialize in service industry, so they work with like plumbers and HVAC and lawn care and people like that. So check them out. But regardless whether you use them or not, having a website that ranks well has been excellent for me. The best way I've gotten customers. Having a website that doesn't rank well is not very helpful at all, in my opinion. There's other things out there, Facebook ads, Google ads, direct mail, you know, those things cost money, and there's a science to it. I'm not the greatest at those things. You can knock on doors, you can do all these different things that yield results. But again, you can join these networking groups. One of the things that helps is if you get some customers and doing excellent work, and your reputation starts to spread, and I think that is a key that we need to focus on as well. All right, the third thing I wanted to mention is a financial plan. So we talked about a business plan. Are you gonna do weed control or mowing or big yards or small yards, or what kind of equipment? And we talked about marketing, how you're gonna get some customers. And I tell you, I'm gonna say this from the beginning because I try to keep it real, but the 3 lawn businesses I've started, all 3 of them, I worked a part-time job on the side while I got them going. Now, I'm not proud of that, and I wish I didn't have to do it, but that was what I needed to do to get it going. Now, it didn't last long, and I was able to jump quickly full-time into my lawn business, but that was something I did in the short term. So the third thing I want to mention is a financial plan. I'm not a financial planner, but I have given it a lot of thought. I've made some financial mistakes and made some financial good decisions. So you don't have to listen to me, but to have a plan as far as finance goes. Now, what does that mean? I think a lot of people, what happens is they start making money with lawn care and they don't know anything about taxes because they've never been self-employed. Self-employment tax is not pleasant, and you just need to understand what you're going to owe and paying quarterly, and whether you're going to be a LLC or a S corporation or what are you going to be, sole proprietor, and understand the tax implications of that and what you can do to help yourself tax-wise. Another thing financially I think makes sense is understand what are you going to pay yourself so that you can keep from spending all your money. Because sometimes, again, a business might start making money and they say, wow, look at all this money I'm making, not planning for taxes, not planning for any equipment to ever tear up, not planning for anything to ever go wrong in your business, and spending a lot of the money on your personal expenses, and then you end up getting in trouble. So you want to guard against that and be conservative and make a reasonable plan. Another thing I think you got to think about is, unless you work for a different kind of lawn business than I do, my company that I own and work for by myself, you know, there's no built-in retirement plan, so I have to self-retire. And so I've got a Roth IRA, I've got a SEP IRA, and so there's these retirement exit strategies that can be used to do that. Now, your exit strategy may be grow a multi-million-dollar business and sell it for multi-millions of dollars one day, and that's not a bad strategy. That's not my strategy, but I wouldn't blame you if it was yours. Mine is more using investment calculators, investing in mutual funds, tax advantage funds that can grow over time. But to do that, I can't just make just enough money to support my family on every month. I need to make substantially more than that so that I can be putting it into these funds to grow tax advantage over time. Again, I'm not a tax professional, not a financial planner, but I have made a lot of mistakes and learned some things. And what I'm just encouraging is, if you don't have a plan and you think, oh, I'm just going to mow grass until I'm 85 years old, I don't think that's a good plan. So you need to have a financial path that can get you in the lawn business and maybe one day get you out of the lawn business with a few dollars in your pocket. I've been on YouTube for about near forever. Thanks for watching the video. A lot of videos on here. If you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Again, check out the resources at lawncarelife.com. I'm going to be at the Equip Expo this year, at least planning on being there. If you hadn't signed up, use the discount code CREEL50. That's my last name, CREEL 50. That will save you 50% off. And I plan to be there at least Wednesday and Thursday at the Exmark booth, at the Spiker booth. So hopefully get to meet a lot of you in person. Thanks for watching the video. We'll see you guys in the next one.